Dehancer is a powerful plugin suite for film light color grading and film effects that I use in Final Cut Pro. Dehancer comes with over 60 film stock presets to choose from, but it also is an entire suite where you can adjust exposure, film grain size, a bloom adjustment that simulates pro mist filters, and even a way to generate your own custom LUTs. After reading about Dehancer, I purchased the light version to use on my railroad content, but I've enjoyed it so much that I use it on this channel as well. About a month ago, Dehancer reached out to me and asked me if I would do a review of their software on this channel. They gave me a copy of the Pro version, as well as the iPhone app to take a look at. Here we are over in Final Cut Pro, and I've got this timeline loaded up that is part of a film that I'm working on documenting my last year as a railroad conductor, the year 2020. It was a pretty dramatic trip, a lot of rain, a lot of severe weather, and even some tornado warnings that we were taking our train through on our way to Cincinnati. So I wanted to match that drama of the night with sort of a chilly color palette. I'll grab one of these clips. This particular clip, I love it, just kind of looking back at our train coming around in this curve in this industrial part of sort of the western suburbs of Cincinnati. So I'm going to grab Dehancer Pro, and I'm going to look at these film profiles. I've got anything from Agfa, Fuji, Kodak, Ilford, even some Lomo stuff. Just a lot of different film stocks to choose from. I've not ventured too far down the list, kind of stayed in the Fuji and Kodak families. I've really enjoyed this Kodak Color Plus 200 for warmer tones, but I always go back to the Velvia 100. It was a film that I shot back when I was in college, and I'm honestly pretty easy to please, and I can just stick to these presets and they do exactly what I want them to do. Most of the editing that I would do to any of the preset would be the exposure, but I just don't feel that I need to make many more changes than what already is offered in these presets. I've seen a lot of folks use the halation and the bloom to dial in things, but when I apply a preset, it already kind of dials that in for me, and I just don't feel like I need to mess with it much more than that. But it's certainly an option for you if you want to play around with that. But honestly, for the most part, it's either the Velvia 100 or the Kodak Color Plus 200, and then the Fuji Pro 400H really does help give a boost to the Canon's colors and the contrast a little bit. But it's the Velvia 100 that I just keep going back to. Shot it a ton, like I said, in college, and I really liked the colors that I got out of it, and it looks very, very similar to some of the old slides that I have. So I'm going to take the edits off of these clips. And this movie here is finished, and so I'll just grab everything, and I'm going to hit Option G, and then that will create a group, and then that way I can just drag Dehancer onto this entire thing, and it will affect all of those clips in that group in the same way. So what I'll do now is I'll export this clip so you can see the rendered file, and I'll do an A/B comparison on one with Dehancer and one without. So on the left, we've got the unaffected version straight out of the camera, Canon 5D Mark III. And then on the right, I liked this particular preset. It gave a little bit more of a blue tint than the Velvia 100 that I prefer. I've also adjusted the bloom slightly to give it a more dreamy feel. I feel like this particular preset with that adjustment captures the mood of this trip. I like how it maintains the orange tone with the headlight, but then really does enhance the blue, giving it sort of a chilly feel. This particular clip, I really could go either way. I love both of the colors, but there is something special about the Dehancer version. But, you know, this video, like I said, it's finished, so I'm just going to leave this preset on there when I export it for the final product. Here we are on my iPhone. I've got an iPhone 13 Pro Max. So the screen is nice and big. I can see everything just fine. I know that doesn't translate onto this video. And I will say that that's one thing that I noticed right off the bat is that you cannot adjust Dehancer to edit in landscape mode. You're kind of stuck in that vertical position. But with a bigger phone and then, you know, looking at it on your phone, you should be able to see everything just fine. I've created this folder called 2Dehance, just images that I want to affect, or even videos. You can edit videos in this as well. I'll select this first frame. There's those two different exposures, one slightly brighter and then the darker version. I like the framing of this one. And so right off the bat, it pulls up the image affected with the last edit that you made, and that was with the Kodak Vision 3 200T. I'm going to hit this categories in the bottom right, and I'm going to go to my favorites, which it's already there, but you can see you've got all presets, which there's quite a few of them. I don't know if they directly mirror what you have on the desktop version. You've got my presets, which I haven't made any. Everything from the Dehancer team, and then imported, which I haven't looked into that. I'm not sure if you can purchase more, but I've just used my favorites, and I again kind of gravitate towards this Velvia 100. So I'm going to go to edit, and it looks like with that preset, it's dropped the exposure a -1. So I'm going to bring it back and maybe boost it just slightly because I did a manual exposure on the phone. I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to hit this arrow on the right and save it to my gallery. I'll come back here and grab another one. So I've got this particular folder set up for images that I have selected as ones I've wanted to edit in this software. But you can tap on that top and you have access to all of your folders or your camera roll. I have found myself using just the presets, sort of like in the desktop version with my movies. I just use the presets and maybe make slight adjustments. I'm gonna grab this one of the covered car, and then we can go over here to this bloom, and we can amplify it just a little bit, and it gives just a little bit of a softer edge to a very sharp digital looking iPhone photograph. And that's what I've found for the most part, that I am editing photos that I've taken with my phone and not ones that I've taken with a larger camera or a camera like the Fujifilm 50S Mark II that has film emulations already applied to the image. So this of the coffee cup in Waffle House, it looks nice with that, you know, sort of the previous edit that I applied, and even here with this Velvia. But I'm liking the original just a little bit more, just because it's already sort of been baked into the image, and I like that better than adding it after the fact. In conclusion, as we look at these frames that I've edited on my phone with Dehancer, I wanted to let you know that Dehancer has provided me with a 10% discount code if you use the promo code Wooden Frames. Other than the iPhone app subscription, you can get 10% off using Wooden Frames, WOODEN FRAMES, all one word. Also, I will leave some links in the description to some more technical or in-depth reviews that I have found helpful. There's some cool example videos on Dehancer's website too. I know that I have not even scratched the surface, but I wanted to get this out there and let you know just how much I've enjoyed it, and give you the opportunity to save some money on it if it interests you. Also, just again, thanks for watching. You can see more of my photographs that I've edited with Dehancer on Instagram. Follow along over there too, wooden.frames. And we'll see you next time.